Hello guys, this is Basit Khan and I'm going to give you a very short introduction of philosophy. Philosophy, as you know, philo means love, Sophy means wisdom, so philosophy means the love of wisdom. Philosophy we use in our daily lives, that this guy has a very good philosophy of dating women, or my dad has very big philosophy of life, or this girl has a very good philosophy of dressing. But philosophy is something that is really on another level. It's outside the scope of common sense. It doesn't rely on common sense assumption. It never ever takes anything for granted. Nothing is given in philosophy, and philosophers tackle the big questions. Philosophers जो होते हैं वो बड़े बड़े सवाल करते हैं. Like for example, what is real? हकीकत क्या है? What is this world like? Why are we created this way? Why are we doing what we are doing? Who created the universe? What happens after death? How to live a good life? How can you define evil? Is there a God or there is no God? If there is a God, what kind of God is up there? So you see, philosophers ask very difficult questions, and these questions are almost unanswered till date. And one might say these philosophers are asking questions like kids. But yes, we are born philosophers. Humans are born philosophers until we, of course, go to school. You see kids, they ask all kinds of questions. That पापा भगवान कहाँ रहते हैं, और खुदा कहाँ रहता है, और you can say पापा हम कैसे पैदा हुए थे, और जानवर जो होते हैं, are they living things or not, are trees living things or not? So all these kind of questions. Why is telling lies bad? You see. So but when the word philosophy comes into our mind, we think that these are a bunch of old guys just thinking about stuff that nobody cares about. But philosophy, my friends, is very relevant in our modern times, because we are living such a busy life. We are busy with our jobs, with our studies, even looking for jobs, looking for love, busy in relationships. If not busy, then we are so much busy on social media, and we want instant gratification in this commercial world. If we are hungry, we buy something to eat. We post a picture and we get likes. We tag people, so we want instant gratification. But life is not about social media or anything. Life is a continuous struggle. You have to struggle throughout your life to achieve your goals. Like all the great people, like Mahatma Gandhi, he struggled all his life for the goals he achieved. So where did the philosophy came from? Well, in India, philosophers wanted to figure out how to achieve salvation. whether it's Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. All these philosophers attempted to go for salvation. In Egypt, they wanted to live a good life. In Greece, they wanted to know the truth on scientific methods. In the Islamic Golden Age, they applied all these philosophies in their daily lives. And then the Western philosophers in the Age of Reason came up with the development of science through the foundation of philosophy. So philosophy has always been there with us. When we ask questions about the universe or society or the world, that what is this world, what is the nature, is zindagi ka nature kya hai? So we are talking about metaphysics, not the physical structure, but also what's the purpose, what's the meaning, what's the nature. When we ask questions like, can we know stuff, can we measure something, can we understand something, do we have the capacity to learn, to comprehend something, that is epistemology. What is really real? Is this life real, or it is some kind of illusion, or is it some kind of script already written, or it's just random, purposeless, or does it have a purpose? And when you ask how to live our life, how to behave with our parents, how to behave with our boyfriends and girlfriends, or our neighbors, or the elders, or teachers, so that's ethics. But philosophy can also be less boring, like it can also ask questions of what is beautiful. Is beauty a thing? Is there some measure for beauty? That is aesthetics. So the weapon of choice for philosopher is logic. Logic is actually arguments based on reason, and they are the enemies of fallacy. Fallacies are mistakes. For example, people will just make their arguments loud, or they will be rude, they will get emotional, or they will just try to win an argument instead of giving a solid argument. So yes, you can also be a philosopher, just like you were when you were a kid. You were asking big questions about life until your teacher or our elders, parents, or anyone just told you not to think. The caste system restricted you, or the religious dogmas, or the ideologies of patriotism. You see, life is not black and white. There are various shades of gray in life, and you just have to think big. Just move the muscles of your brain. दिमाग की बत्ती जलानी पड़ेगी हमें. So remember, life is not simple. Nothing is certain. There are no clear boundaries. And learning is to go beyond the common sense assumptions. Just go beyond and take nothing for granted. And Indians, they already have they're genetically philosophers. India has philosophy in their genes. Manu, remember, the first man, the legendary man, he gave certain principles, 10 principles for life. Kapila, he loved wisdom. And Gautama, Aksada Gautama, not Siddhartha Gautama, he told us to think on reason, and reason and logic is the way to salvation. And then Khanda, who was from Gujarat, he simplified that philosophy. And also Gargi, she was a female philosopher, naturalist philosopher. Vyasa, you know, the man who wrote Mahabharat, in he wrote a lot of stuff that was philosophical, but Bhagwan Gita, if you look closely, it is a philosophy of life. Karwaka gave the philosophy of the common people, and the list just goes on. Kotila, the political philosopher. So you can be philosophers. For example, in poetry, it's not just having the rhyming words, but it's asking the big questions. For example, love. Is love a thing? How to best love your lover? How to behave with the beloved? How to love people? Who should we love? What should we expect in love? Can we love a person who doesn't love us? Why is love so painful? Is love worth it or not? So all these questions, get your pen and start thinking. Dimagh ki batti jala do, and awaken the philosopher that's already in you.